Hey Mickey. Oh Mickey, you're so fine. So fine, you got my mind. Oh Mickey, you're so fine. So fine, you. Oh Mickey, you're so fine.
Hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing.
Ooh, Lord have mercy. Struggle streaming. This is crazy. Test, test. Test, test, test. Hey, baby, can you hear me? Hi, Mia. Hi, Jess. Can you hear me, hun? Because I can't. I don't hear anything now. You hear me? Cool. Ogumbanke? I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. Hello, sounds good. Okay, I must be the must be these. But we'll see what we can do with this, because this is struggle streaming at its finest. Oh, goodness gracious. Hi, Charles. How you doing? Hi, Cassie. Good. Oh, good. I pronounced it good. Okay, I'm not going to try your last name, though. I'll just mess that up completely. I ain't going to lie. Ogundiran. Ogundiran. Ogunbanke Ogundiran. Okay. I will mess up a name. Okay. Thank you, sweetheart. I will mess up a name. Man. Thank you guys for coming. It's been another one of those struggle streaming days. I was supposed to be over there with Quiet Storm and had to go to the store and buy these headphones. It was a mess. Hi, Barbara Weaver. Child of God, good to see you. Charles, Cassie. Oh, goodness. My baby's in the house. He the first one here. Hi, baby. How you doing? Okay, well, in the meantime, I'm not sure if he's even done with his live. We were supposed to deep dive into... Oh, goodness gracious. We were supposed to deep dive into Angie Stone's royalties. Hi, Pamela. How you doing, hon? And we can't deep dive without the man who's doing the swimming. So, with that said, we just gonna kind of twiddle our thumbs and hopefully he's done. Yeah, he was trying to help me, but everything he was telling me, it was like everything I did was... Oh, he's still live now? Uh-oh. Lord have mercy. Hi, Ann. Hi, Diane. Hi, Tracy. I hope you guys had a wonderful day today. Oh, I hear you, Barbara. I don't take no offense. You call me Mickey. I understand. I totally understand. So, yeah. You know, that auntie is just you get to be our age. And people refer to you as that. And I got so many nieces and nephews and people that are just younger than me, period. Lady of Elegance Candles, how are you? I'm doing good. How are you? I love me some candles. Do you have a store? Lady, do you have a store on your channel, or do you sell it like on Etsy or anything like that? Because I will buy some candles. Hey to you too, Cassie. I will buy some candles. I will go broke on some candles. So if you have somewhere where I can pick an order, let me know. Most definitely. Let me know. Jess likes candles too. I'm going to tell it. Ain't that right, Jess? Oh, good. Good. Well, definitely keep me in mind when you get your store up and running. I'd love to see it. Thank you, Candy. New member, Candy Angel. Welcome to the house. Welcome to Auntie's house. Just kick back and enjoy yourself. We are kind of waiting for quiet to come. And matter of fact, I will send him a text. Y'all, it was a mess. Me and Jess were on here trying to test this mic. And I still can't hear through these headphones, but I'm just going to assume y'all hear me. I hope I hear him when he comes back. But we were on here trying to figure this thing out. And all of a sudden, I heard this crash in my house. It sounded like somebody came in. I will give you my email and we can talk. Okay, my email is in the description on my YouTube page, in my YouTube subscription. So email me your email and we'll talk. Okay? But me and Jess were on here, and all of a sudden this crash in the house, and I'm here alone. It's a big house, and I'm like, her face turned weird, my face turned weird, and I'm like, what was that? I jumped up and I started looking around the house. I couldn't find nothing that fell, and finally I went in the spare room where my other closet is. Man. There was so many clothes on that thing, it literally pulled down the rack to my closet. So all my clothes are just kind of on the floor of the closet now. So I got a job to do when I'm done with this. That's a mess. I sure did. I grabbed my bat. I didn't have time to go get the pow pow. I said, let me see somebody up in here. Jess was like, I didn't want to have to call 911, but let me find somebody lurking around in my house. 911 gonna be called for somebody, be it him or me, but probably me, because I can't run, but I can swing a bat. Oh my God, that was scary. But thank God there was nobody in here, because if they were, I'd have told them, take whatever you want. I ain't fighting you. It can always be replaced, but I'm not giving up my life for nothing. If you want anything in here, you can take whatever you want. I'm not dying for it. Not the kid. I got too much life in me left to give it up for material things, you know. So, you know what? Let me see if I can reach him, or at least see, or at least let him know that whenever he's ready, hop on in. What'd I do with my phone? Good grief. Jesus! Okay. Ooh. That sounds better. Maybe if I turn this up. Technology. That didn't help. Hi, DeAndre. Hi, baby. Oh, Storm over there cooking still? Ah. Hi, Ninja. Black said, hold your applause. I'm here. I'm here. Okay, you watching? Good. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you. They getting in the way though. Marzella, I'm not used to this anymore. I like to type and they get in my way. Man, I can't hear the mic. I can hear me, but I can't hear the mic. I hope I can hear him. Let me tell the cook that I'm live whenever he's ready. We gonna have to work something out with this schedule though, because if he goes at 12 noon, well, 12 noon his time. He says it's 12 noon his time. That would be 3 o'clock my time. That gives me 2 hours with him. Hi, Mama Cricket. Hey, I had to come in and watch a bit and say hello. You were on my mind. I had to come through. Thank you, DeAndre. I love you, sweetheart. Hey, Love Jones. I applauded a little too early. You know what, you guys? I miss my little sound box. I can't use it anymore. Oh, he's talking to a caller. Okay. Well, I don't want to interfere with that. Well, now, what do you guys... Now, I guess I could still talk. I mean, why not? April says, hello, beautiful. I wanted to comment on the background photo. It's gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you so much. Jess bought me this sign. I'm so stuck on it. I love it. It's neon. Neon Mickey. So maybe I'll get another one that just says Auntie, and I can put that above it. But I love it. Thank you. Thank you. At first I had my son up here. True. Trinity Love 85. Hello, Auntie Mickey. Truth is I subscribed because you are absolutely stunning. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you. I'm looking at your picture too, and so are you. DeAndre said, love you too, Auntie. I'm proud of you. I've been seeing all your hard work, content, and all the love. Thank you, my love. I love you so much, sweetie. I miss talking to you. But I be watching, I be catching them lives. I watched you cook. I watched that, what was that chicken, was it a chicken salad? Let me know if I'm wrong, because I sure enough watched it. It looked good, too. Had me hungry. Since someone said something about the sign, I was just telling Black last night to Auntie, your intro and outro is fire. Thank you. I finally figured that thing out. You're welcome. Is that a photo of you? The one I was talking about. You talking about up in the corner? Wait. That thing up in the corner? That's actually not me. It's kind of a cartoon version of me. But yeah, I had it. I did it through an app or something. They kind of stick your face onto different things, and I thought, well, that's me. That's me. I wear them hats. It was a chicken salad. Thank you so much. Yes. Hey, QT. Yes, Ninja, we haven't seen you in a few days. We missed you. Marzella C, thank you for the $10 super sticker. You are so sweet. Thank you. Love Jones says, we love you both. Together and separate. We are happy y'all didn't just drop the... Oh, no. That wasn't going to happen, honey. You was singing my intro all day. I'm surprised. I almost call YouTube Facebook for some reason. I'm surprised they didn't hit me upside the head with copyright. But that was a remix. So maybe they let that go through. Ooh, these earrings is kicking my tail. The lady in the hat looks like me. Yeah, that's from that app. I wish I could remember the app that I had that done, because they did several different shots, and I like that one. It reminded me of an old Raquel Welch movie. Oh, he looked at you like you were nuts. Well, Marzella, again, I thank you for the $10 super sticker. I gotta tell y'all, this is surreal to me. Hi, Solomon. You laughing, but you don't know why. Man, we gonna have to get that checked out, sir. I done told you about coming in here with things that need to be checked out. Go get it checked out. They have people that take care of those things. I've popped in a few times but didn't say nothing. Oh, okay, Ninja. Well, I know you here, sweetie. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, since the Angie Stone movement, if you would like to call it that, has started. Hi, Summer. Thank you, sweetheart. Thanks for the reverse super chat. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna sick Mother Jones on you in a minute, Solomon. Let me talk. Ever since the movement started, it's as though it just picked up and grew a life of its own. And that just lets me further know that I'm not the only one that really cherished that woman and her music. I may not be an expert on the life and times of Angie Stone, but I know where her music took me. Thank you, Solomon. I know where that woman's music took me when I was in a dark place. I was in a very dark place. And it was her music that helped pull me out of that place. And I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that's been through that. DeAndre said, all this time I'm thinking it was you, Auntie. I wanted to let you know I'm still here. Oh, for you. Thank you, love. I love that you are covering the memory of Angie Stone. Absolutely. And not just the memory, but the legacy and the mystery. Because this is a mystery. It's a big mystery. And rather than try to put pieces together that don't make sense, let's put the facts together and make total sense of it. And if it comes out ugly, it is ugly. Angie sung. Okay, Solomon, remember that old cut by Gladys Knight and the Pips? Neither one of us wants to be the first to say goodbye. Angie Stone took that music and created her own song called No More Rain in This Cloud. Same melody. And that's one of the classic melodies in music today. And she took it to another level when she wrote No More Rain. That is the jam, absolutely. And she also did Black Brothers, I Love You, There Is No One Above You. I want you to know that I'm here for you, forever true. Yes, I remember the words. Not to go off topic, but Prince did that for me. Exactly. Girl, Trinity, girl, we ain't gonna even talk about Prince. That little man, he did it for me. Yes, he did. He was a pretty man. He was a pretty man. I was, now I'm telling my age, I was pregnant with my second child when Purple Rain came out. Yes, you're right, DeAndre. Absolutely. Each one of her songs spoke a message. I can't eat, I can't sleep anymore. Why do I miss you, man? But yeah, Prince, you knew him personally. I'm jealous. I'm so jealous. You knew Prince personally, Trinity Love. Oh, Jesus, that man. That man, he had so much talent. It was crazy. Little Red Corvette, absolutely. And then, oh, when he did Nikki, The nasty song. Why my husband want to throw that in there and call it Mickey instead? Yeah, When Doves Cry. I wish I knew Johnny Cash personally. Well, you know it's too late. He's gone. I'm sorry, Ninja. I had to say that. Johnny Cash been gone. Solomon said Prince was a Jehovah Witness and used to knock on doors. You know, I heard that. I heard that. I wish he would have knocked on my door. I would have tried to convert him one way or another. Yes, I was in one of his music videos. Which one, Trinity? Yes, he did live 20 years before your time, Ninja. Let's go crazy. No, we not gonna say the other part. It's not let's kiss, but stop it, Solomon. Shame on you. The most beautiful girl in the world. Oh my God. You were in that video. And what's the young lady that sang in that video with him? Oh no, that's Diamonds and Pearls. I'm thinking of Diamonds and Pearls. Could you be the most beautiful girl in the world? I gotta go look for the video. Diamonds and Pearls was a hit too. Prince was about 3 foot 30 inches tall. Shut up, Solomon. He wore nice heels. We would have definitely been wearing each other's heels. My feet are probably bigger than his though. But yeah, he was a little man. He was a little man, but he was pretty. Then he sent for you again. See? He loved him some Trinity Love. For him to send for you again. Hi, protected by God. How are you, sweetheart? Rosie Gaines. Who's Rosie Gaines, Charles? Is that the lady that sang with him in Diamonds and Pearls? Exactly, Mama. They wore them heels. But you know, them heels did a number on his hips over time. Pop Life. Pop Life. But you know which one I liked? I liked Musicology. Did y'all like Musicology? The beautiful Rosie Gaines. Yes, that woman can sing her tail off. You know what, Solomon? I'm going to get you a comedy. I'm going to book you at a comedy store. They would mind too. Shit, I'd break my damn leg. That's why I can't wear heels like that no more. Because they really did a number on my knees. Yeah, them stilettos, boy, they're the devil. But they just look so good, and especially if you got the right kind of legs. I ain't trying to brag, but I had some pretty calves. I had them basketball player calves, and I'd put my stilettos on, and I was good to go. Ron Cooley, good evening, Auntie. Rosie Gaines song. Rosie Gaines sang with him on Diamonds and Pearls. Yes. Yes. Oh my God, I loved Diamonds. I liked everything Prince did. But when he came out with Housequake and Musicology, oh my God. He was underrated everything. Pink Corvette. No, it was Red Corvette. His song was Little Red Corvette. Appeal. Yeah, so, Sign of the Times talked about the space shuttle blowing up before it happened. That's amazing, isn't it, Charles? Oh, DeAndre said the only man that could wear heels and pull women's booty shorts, makeup, and give women all due respect. Yeah, he made some of us look bad. He really did. That was a pretty man. Prince was in a lot of pain toward the end. I believe it. I believe it. I know that he had problems with his hips because of his, of course, his performances, and then he's doing all that in heels. Thank you, that's it, Queen. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, Ron, I forgot about the Batman soundtrack and that video that he came out with. Oh, my God. Y'all are bringing me back now. Because, man, Purple Rain took me in. I remember that one scene when he took, what's her name? Apollonia. He took Apollonia out to the lake, and because she wanted to come into she wanted to be a big star or whatever, and he thought he'd give her a chance. I love you too, sweetie. Yeah, he said you gotta jump in Lake Minnetonka, and she in her black leather suit, she jumped into that lake, and he says, "Wait a minute, that ain't Lake Minnetonka." That was hilarious. Hey, El Boogie. Yes, Tevin Campbell, merry-go-round with Prince. You know what? I think about Tevin Campbell often, and his situation in the business turned out to be tragic. But it just goes to show how nasty this whole industry is. And people want to be famous, people want to sing, use their talent, and then they get a chance at fame and fortune, and look what they have to give up. You know, pain in his ankles, yes. Arthritis in his hands, yes. He was in a lot of pain. I like Elvis Presley, yes. However, I'm going to give honor where honor is due. Who sang Shimmy Shimmy Ya? I like Elvis for his time. I'll just put it like that. For his time. But Elvis mimicked, let's be real, he mimicked the culture. And he got rich off of the culture. Yes, he did have a heck of a voice, as many of them do. But he took cues from the culture. Oh, Wu-Tang sang that. Okay, Solomon. Kingdom of Muscles. I can't even say all that, so I'm going to call you Kingdom. I love you too. Faith is all I need. You and Quiet both misspelled royalties in y'all's. Oh no, did I? That's why I'm telling these nails. My bad. I'll fix it, sweetie. Diddy took a lot of the young artists out. Yes, he did. He was diabolical with it too. There was 3 videos for Batman, Trinity. Were they weren't all Prince's, were they? The one thing about Prince, he created music. He didn't do samples. Exactly. That's the thing I admired about him. He wrote and he did all of his stuff on his own. Yeah, and he wrote Shaka Khan's I Feel For You too. Hi, Gen X. How you doing? Why do you, I love you? Why do you, I love you? Was that a Prince song? I don't remember that one. Ron Prince said when he wanted to hear good music, he wrote it. Exactly. And it's funny back in the day how they used to pit him and Michael Jackson against each other. Hi, Victoria. How you doing, sweetie? It was crazy the way they would pit the two against each other, and they were both geniuses in their own right. Gen X said, "Hey, Auntie, I seen you putting in work this past week." Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I have, and I'm planning to continue as long as I can't. As long as I stop struggle streaming with this Mike's situation is killing me. Tevin is doing much better now. He is touring again. His generation has brought him back around again. Thank God. Because that boy was tight. Oh my God, he was tight. He and Mike had a friendly competition. I heard when MJ passed, Prince stayed in his room for. I believe it. And do you know, it might be a rumor, but I'm pretty sure it's true that even though they did have a genuine rivalry, they did actually collaborate at some point in time. So I'm not sure if that's in Prince's archives or Michael's, but if can you imagine if that music got out? That would be crazy. Juanita said, "Hey Auntie, today's my 61st birthday." Happy birthday, Juanita Givens. Y'all clap your hands for Juanita. I don't have my box anymore. Otherwise, I'd clap my hands for you. So I'll do it right now. Happy birthday, sweetie. Happy birthday. Everybody wish Juanita a happy 61st birthday. Mama said, I've been looking for a clip of that collab for years. Nowhere to be found. Yeah. Did Prince date the girl that was in Thriller? I don't think so. Not that I know of. Her last name was Ray. I can't remember her first name. But I don't remember her and him ever dating. Yeah. But I can imagine him staying in his room for days because, that was part of his success. Just not only his genius in music, but how the industry kind of kept that rivalry going and it pushed them to do even more. Michael stayed asking Prince for help with music. Huh. Boy, Michael was tight too, but Michael couldn't play the instruments that Prince could play. And I ain't gonna lie, I love me some Michael Jackson. I ain't lying. You gotta go, Ninja. Ola Ray. Thank you, Roberta, I'm sorry. Ola Ray was her name. Man. And it's funny because her last name being Ray, and that's my husband's last name, he used to tease me all the time and say, yeah, that was his ex-wife or his cousin or something like that. I'm like, shut up. She was beautiful too. Ola Ray in the Thriller video. Yes, nothing but love, Juanita. I saw Janet last July in Charlotte. Yes, I saw that tour too, Love Jones. She came to Seattle. My baby sister-in-law took me and my husband to see Janet Jackson. Prince treated Michael like a little annoying brother. I could see that. It seems like everybody is trying to compete with each other on this Angie Stone story. I hope that everyone can get one accord so we can get just... I agree, Faith. That's the only reason why I'm hanging in here. Because I'm getting trolls coming in here trying to discourage me. And I don't bend that easy. If I can sit here and look Jaguar face to face on a screen and walk away from her madness, I can stay right here where I am and do the right thing, because it's the right thing. I may not be this big, humongous platform with millions of subscribers, but one thing I can say is that I definitely identified with Angie Stone. And I believe most women deep down inside did as well, because not everybody is so confident in themselves. We have that little bit of, that thing inside of us that, we just have little second thoughts about who we are. And the business treated her so bad. You say the word, Auntie, and I'll take a bit out of a bite. You mean a bite? Bless your heart. You've been hit by a smooth criminal. Dun 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 dun. Ow! That's the devil through these trolls, Auntie. We gotta stay prayed up. Absolutely. Prayer always changes things. Now I can clown, I can act a fool, but honey, one thing I know to be true: prayer does change things. Auntie Mickey, you got ambushed last weekend by paperwork and Jag. Highly disrespectful. I logged off after you left. Too much craziness. You're right, Roberta. And I'll be honest with you. The next day that hit me, and I actually sat in this room and cried like a baby because I felt so humiliated. But then my husband came in and he tapped me on my shoulder and he said, "Sweetheart, look, that wasn't you. That wasn't you. That was Satan himself." You know, and sometimes you just got to put things in perspective. And I had to get out of my feelings about that because I did. I felt very humiliated in that respect because it wasn't just her. It was paperwork as well. He's laughing because my mic was messed up and stuff like that, saying, "Oh, what are you going to do now that if Quiet goes to his own platform?" I'm going to continue to do what I've been doing. What you mean? You know? So, Miss Auntie, did you see Cody ITC on Angie's? What am I missing here? I didn't see the rest of that message. George Watson, did you not finish the message? Stacy Steele says, "Let him go. You were hurt, Mickey, but you stronger." Yeah, I gotta be. I've gotten this far in life. I can't let nobody rattle me like that. He's talking about a spirit box. I don't know about spirit boxes. No. No, I don't know nothing about them. I don't play with that stuff. Not no shade or nothing. I stick to what I know. Oh my goodness, I had no idea that happened to you. I need to make a trip. We don't play about you, Auntie. Oh, DeAndre, you are too sweet. Yeah, you know, like I said, this has been so overwhelming, but God prepares us just where He wants us to be. And I'm not here to stand on no, platform and preach to nobody. But I'm a true believer that He's got my back and He's got y'all's too. Ron Cooley, that's the trick of the enemy, to get people fighting each other instead of fighting who they need to be fighting. That's how they always win. Yes. Sean Prince was sent, wait a minute, the demo for Bad. He remixed it and sent it back and told Michael, this is what it should sound like. Really? Prince did? Okay. And it turned out to be one of his biggest hits. One Diva King says, "Hello, Mickey. Good to see you. Looking well." Thank you, Diva King. Juanita said, people need to stop tearing people down and lift each other up, because that's what Jesus wants from His children. You're right. You're right. Oh, no, Roberta, is that what a spirit box is? The 21st century version of a Ouija board? Oh, no. No. I'm done. I'm cool. I'm cool with that. I don't play with that. That's true, Trinity. I believe that as well. Thank you, God's child. They came off of Zilul or Vogue Me, one of the two. I can lift Auntie up. I've been working out. And don't be too sure. Them pounds done creeped up. Ooh, my goodness. But it's something you said about these Ouija boards. And, while we're waiting on Quiet, I guess we could still talk. It's something about where we are in society now. And I'm a daycare provider, so I I work a lot with kids, mainly toddlers. I've got a baby as well. Um, the school systems are going after these kids younger and younger and younger. His lights went out, play games. Paperwork got his karma. His lights went out. Uh-oh. He was scared. Oh. I saw a video of Spirit Box with the voice of Angie Stone. I'm skeptical. No, that wasn't Angie Stone's voice. It might have been somebody else's voice that we don't want to talk about. But that kind of stuff, that I ain't trying to throw no shade. People do what they want to do, but I don't play with that stuff. That I don't play with that spirit box, Ouija boards, anything where the spirit world is talking to us. Because you open that portal, you liable to let something in that you can't deal with. I bind that spirit in the name of Jesus. That's right, child of God. I ain't going to sit here and bite my tongue when it comes down to the Lord. And if people don't like that, I'm sorry. But I don't fool around with that spirit stuff. You know, as long as God, as long as we having a discussion about God, we cool. But when we get to talking about ghosts and goblins and spirits talking and Ouija boards moving and supposedly she spoke about what happened to her. I have to say this. I don't take nothing from that but evil. Because God's not in that. I don't believe God is in that. Okay, exactly, Sean Hill. You're absolutely right. Imagine what she was getting. And she wouldn't even deal with her trolls. She ignored them. She sure did. She ignored them trolls. I gotta admit, she had such a power with her. You know, they may paint a picture that she didn't know no better about this, know no better than that. She came from a real genuine place. Now, she didn't play. You know what I'm saying? She didn't play when it comes down to, she was old school like me. I'm like, I come from the I brought you into this world, I'll take you out generation. But she still had a genuine kindness for people. And it's sometimes people take that for granted and they'll actually abuse it and misuse it. So Juanita said, Auntie, that's why I stay away from evil people. I feel good. I don't like confusion. I hear you, sweetheart. Yeah, I hear you. She definitely did know the Lord. She wasn't playing about God. She definitely wasn't. And to be in that type of industry, it's a demonic industry to be in. And to stand for the Lord in the midst of all that demonic debauchery. It takes a strong woman, strong man to do that. Auntie Mickey's house, you are right. Evil spirits are real on Angie. Yeah, I mean, just like angels are real, demons are real. Satan was cast out of heaven because he got too big-headed and thought he was going to be better than God. And God said, sorry, you got to go. And he took a third of the angels with him because he flipped them. He flipped a third of the angels. Auntie Mickey, that's what they do in churches, misrepresenting exactly faith. Now, I agree with you there. And I was born and raised in the church, so I'm here to tell you, everybody speaking in tongues ain't speaking in tongues, if you know what I'm saying. Auntie, may I come in your panel? You sure can. Let me. I'm gonna put this up for That's It Queen. Since Quiet's not here yet, we gonna carry on this conversation. Hold on. We gonna carry on. Look, Satan is a lie. This thing is tripping. Hold on just a second. Where's my escape button? There it go. Okay. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Okay, stop doing that. Here we go. Satan must not like what we talking about, because he playing games. Okay, that's it, Queen. I put the link in the chat for you to come up so we can carry on this conversation. And I hope I can hear you when you come up. Because if I can't, I'm going to be pissed. Okay. You coming up too, Solomon, you better watch yourself. Okay, sweetheart. Let me add you to the stage. Make sure you mic up and camera up, okay? If you don't want a camera, you don't have to. But just make sure that you're mic'd up. You there, sweetheart?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
And
Praise
I don't know why
God.
my. It's a pleasure to meet you,
It is a
Auntie.
pleasure to meet you too, sweetheart. Thank you so much for coming up.
And I don't know why my picture's not up.
Uh-oh.
I don't know why, but maybe it's a good thing. Uh,
Hmm.
hello. Excuse me. Hello, chat. You know Angie's daughter. Let me, let me cut my TV. Where I should know
Yeah.
that by now. Hold on, Miss
Go right ahead,
Auntie.
sweetie.
You know I know better. I know better. That's all I
I
can say. So excuse me, because I know better. I should have had that already off. Okay.
hear you.
Angie's daughter had a house
Uh-huh.
left from her Angie's mother.
Uh-huh.
Don't you know that girl didn't appreciate that house?
Man.
That it was given to her through
Angie cared about
Angie.
her kid. She cared about them kids. Now that was obvious.
You know what? I think she cared a little bit too much. And the reason why I say that is because Angie was the only child.
Right.
And that plays a big part
Absolutely. I was an
because
only child too. I can relate. Yes.
was see, I'm the baby
Uh-huh.
of my family, but my personality was different.
Uh-huh.
And before you know it, I'm more kinder. I'm more laid back.
Uh-huh.
And people take advantage of that. And I believe that Angie being the only child, she just hugged and loved everybody, and they
Mm-hmm.
took advantage of that. Because the
Yep.
reason why I say that, because I'm a Virgo/Leo,
Ooh,
and
so
my
I'm a Virgo too. So yeah, you my
so
sister.
yeah, listen, you sure is my sister. We sh- and so that passionate and that friendliness will get you in a world of trouble because a snake and like what you was talking about, all of them demons just gather around her.
Yep. Yep. And she's
If that
so
makes any sense.
loving. Yes.
Yes,
Very
yes,
trusting. Very trusting. And you don't really
yes,
know who's not down for you. And
exactly.
that's a very dangerous position to be in. And but you know
Yes.
what? It's not her that pays in the end. It's them.
Yeah, yeah, but it's a shame
It is a
how they
shame.
really took advantage of Angie. When I found out that she was the only child, I said, no wonder this woman is gullible the way she is.
Mm. Mm.
It made sense.
Hmm.
She thought she could trust the people that she trusted.
Right. But you know what? I honestly, to be truthful, I don't believe that her children disliked her or anything like that. I'm just, you know, Quiet Storm made a very valid point that when you've got people around you that are blocking your children from you, um, that becomes a problem, and that's very prominent in the church, especially. Now that I can attest to, as far as being in the church, but
Hmm. Okay.
in the music industry, I don't have that expertise, but I can see the different. I can see the correlation between the two, because you got
Hmm.
people that are aligned with her, supposedly there for her benefit, but then you have to wonder, are they there to keep her away from others so they can have the inside benefit? And that goes for the children. They will block the children as well. So the children coming up in that atmosphere, they don't understand that, and rightfully so, you know. Um, but it's just awful all the way around that she was taken advantage of so badly,
Yes, yes, ma'am.
because
She
she didn't
was.
deserve that. She loved her children, and I'm very sure that they
Yes,
loved her too. But when you get the wrong forces around you in your life, and in the industry, the industry is full of dark forces, you
yes,
know.
it is. It is. Um, I've been
Kimya,
around.
hold on, sweetheart, hold on a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Kimya, you said no. So now she called Angela gullible. Angie believed in God and put God first. Y'all have no clue. With all this judging, messy speculating, her kids made her happy and she made her kids happy. Nobody's disputing that, Kimaya.
No,
I
ma'am.
hope I'm saying that correctly. Kimya. Nobody's disputing that. Nobody's saying she was gullible. No, we're saying that she was surrounded by people that were not necessarily for her benefit, and it caused a
Right.
problem. So again, we're not calling Angie gullible by any means, and we're not saying that her kids didn't make her happy and she didn't make her kids happy. That's not the case. She had a normal life with her family just like any of us. So I hope you don't take that the wrong way. Your guest said she was gullible. We all heard it. Okay, well, I can't say where my guest was coming from, so she can speak for that. But I for one don't feel that way. Um, that's it, Queen. Did you? Because I'm sorry, maybe I it went over my head that you said that. But do you feel that Angie was gullible?
I did say that, Auntie. I did because, and I try myself to explain why I said the word gullible.
Uh huh.
It's because Bang, she was the only child, so she wanted to connect with people.
Uh huh.
Bang, you being a people person. because
Right.
I'm a people person. I like to laugh and talk and tell men and women you look nice and stuff, and then you get to talk and see like that y'all been knowing each other for a long time, but y'all just met.
Uh-huh.
So that's what I meant by that. I didn't mean like no disrespect towards that,
Uh-huh.
but but I'm not the only child in
Uh-huh.
my family, but I was different where I was gullible.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Mm-hmm.
because I was brought up in a home with rules.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever my mother wanted me to do, I had to do it. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
supposed to question. And I
Right.
did my sisters and brothers that way. Before you know it, when you go outside, it's kind of like the same way. You get, soft and tender. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
And I believe that Angie had that good spirit, that
Right.
gullible spirit where she would just cheer with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean
Mm-hmm.
anything by it to
Not a negative
Miss
manner.
Kimmy
Yeah, because
or
the
anything.
word
Yeah.
gullible could be taken the wrong way as well. But she by no means was stupid, not in one bit, not in one bit. But she was very trusting, and she was deceived by many. Um, Richard, if you could
Yes. So
say
that
what you gotta say,
You want me to say what I
Rich.
gotta say?
Yeah, let me hear what you got to say, Solomon.
Okay. Yeah, that's me. Okay. So, so I was
how
exposed
you
to the
doing,
industry
Richard?
at
How are you?
Hi, how are you? Doing well. Doing well. So I was exposed to the industry at age 15, and I was used as a mule to get into Studio 54 for the redistribution of all the necessities for happy times for a lot of these industry folks.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to witness some very interesting behavior. And yes, when you're in the industry, you're going to be surrounded by a lot of crazy vibes, a lot of negative vibes.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
And it happened
mm-hmm.
it happened while I was a bass player for a Latin band also,
Mm-hmm.
and that was just reckless. I thank God I never participated in that stuff, but being around it, you could feel it. You
Mm.
feel that, yeah. And it takes a lot not to get caught up in it.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say.
All righty, dighty. Now, how long did you
And
play the
Mr.
bass?
Richard,
Yes.
How long did you play the bass?
Oh well, I was for that band. I was in that band for about a year and a half. But prior to that, I've been playing an instrument since I was 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I wish I could have seen that.
Yeah. Me too.
If we unfortunately we didn't have iPhones back then, so we couldn't record
No,
stuff like that. So,
but my kids are picking up though. My kids are picking up.
I hear
I
you.
got my
I
son
hear
on the
you.
guitar, and I got my little 3-year-old on the drums. She's going crazy
Uh-huh.
with that damn thing, keeping
Uh-huh.
everybody up.
All
Hmm.
right. My next door neighbor's doing the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you
So
coming
is
up
ours, but in a bad
and
way.
giving your story.
Oh, thank you. I'm,
And
I'm, I'm, I'm
would you like to chill up here on the platform for a while, or
for a
do you
little
want to go
while. For a
back?
little while.
Okay.
Not
All
for a little
right.
while.
All right,
You
Black.
don't
What
mind.
what did you have to say, sir?
I actually commented in the private chat, Auntie M. I wanted to say it there before I said it out loud because I don't want nobody to take me the wrong way. But I feel like this is something that Angie said, or I feel like this is something that Storm and you both had said. I put it in the private chat. I don't know if you can see it or not.
Here, let me go. You know, I don't be looking at that private chat. Hold on just a second.
Okay, I saw what
And
he wrote.
when I say
Okay.
that, I don't mean that in a bad way either. I mean, she
No, it's
was
not.
blindsided.
Yeah, I don't feel that that's a bad thing. I mean,
Because
Gullible
I'm
doesn't
touching
mean
on
that you
what
have a
that
bad
person said.
relationship. Gullible
Yeah,
doesn't
because
mean you
I'm
have a
touching
bad
on what
relationship with
that
your
wait,
children or anything like that.
one.
exactly. Because I'm touching on what that person just said in the chat, and I'm touching on what that's it Queen said. Because in a way, I feel like Angie herself came out her mouth and said that she felt gullible because of the fact she was taking advantage of somebody that she felt was close to her. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah,
so everybody needs to take that into consideration and not jump down her throat for saying her opinion, because everybody's entitled to their opinion, and you guys need
Right.
to pay more closer attention to the facts, because that came out of straight out of Angie's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
She straight said somebody close to me is robbing me.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Well, that a gullible person is a victim. They're not the perpetrator. The perpetrator are those people that
Exactly.
know that
A
that they can
gullible
take advantage
person
of
is
them.
somebody. A
Yeah,
gullible
Right.
person doesn't make you stupid. It makes you got blindsided
Human.
by somebody that you trusted. You
It
know, it
makes you
right.
doesn't make you
human.
not smart. It doesn't make you anything other than you got surprised by uh, a wrong that was done to you.
Uh-huh.
And when somebody says gullible, it doesn't mean that they're picking on anybody's character or their mindset. It just means that,
Right.
she had
And
an
even when
open
they're not
heart. Angie
gullible,
was a big hearted person.
Right.
yeah, and even when they're not gullible, people who aren't gullible get taken advantage of also. So it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's everybody, man. It's not just the word gullible. I think the word gullible got taken the wrong way just now,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to come in and say that, and that's all I got to say about that.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Black. I appreciate you, love. We've got Cool Daddy 2025. Did you
All
are
right,
are
I'll
you
hop
still
out
there?
now.
Okay, love. Cool Daddy, are you coming to the stage? You need to mic up, and it would be nice if we could see an avatar or something, or your face. Okay.
Yeah. So you learned about that, huh, Auntie? About making sure that people show up and present themselves on the camera first. But
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a heads up because I had another channel that was completely wiped out. The person came on,
Uh huh.
they were in the waiting room
Mhm.
and camera on, everything. The minute I let him up, he put some outrageously inappropriate stuff and got my channel shut down.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, I had an incident happen last week. It was very strange. Um,
Yeah. Even if they show their
someone,
face on camera or anything like that, be careful. Go
yeah.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, this person kept popping up. I don't know. Well, I think what had happened was they kept going in and clicking the link. It wasn't even meant for them to come up, but they kept clicking the link and coming up into the backstage. And they had a ski mask on, and they were making faces. Now the chat couldn't see it, but I could see it. They were making faces at me and stuff, and I just ignored it. And the name at the bottom changed each time, because he would
Yeah.
go and he'd come back as someone else, and go and
Right.
come back as someone else. So I am
Yeah.
going to be very careful
Yeah.
about
Even if
who
they show
comes
their
in
face,
here.
if you don't know them,
Right, right,
please be careful. And
right.
yeah, look, D remembers the story I told. He's
Hmm.
commenting on that right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I see that.
Yeah. There are some trolls out there who want to be funny, but there's some
Hmm.
trolls out there that are seriously malicious.
Right. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna play it safe right now and
Hmm.
limit this to the three of us on the platform. Cool
Yeah.
Daddy, I can't see your face, and I really don't know, what you're doing, but please feel free to still hang out here if you'd like. And we're just gonna have this conversation between the three of us in the chat. You're free to go back into the chat if you'd like to contribute to the conversation. We just having a everyday conversation. No shade, no judgment, none of that. We talking off of our own experiences on people. And, Angie was a regular person just like us. You know, it's really, like I said, it was really unfortunate that that happened to her, and it happens to so many people that
Yeah,
it's crazy. So,
yeah. And they're all. It's funny because looking at how people react to all the people in the industry, they're
mm-hmm.
all regular people. They're not. There's
Oh,
nothing really. Yeah,
yeah,
but
this,
people put them on a pedestal,
yeah,
and but they're normal people.
yeah. Hold on a second. Cool
Yep.
Daddy, you ain't coming up here quitting making faces in the camera, okay? You acting silly. You acting silly. Grow up. You look to be an average age. Somebody should have sense your age. Quit making faces in the camera. I should pull him up just like that and let everybody see what this fool look like.
Busted. There it
You're an
is.
idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Boy, it takes all kinds, don't it?
He was here before. He was up before.
Yeah, I know.
Did he? Did he leave on his
Yeah.
own
No, I just snatched him out. Enough is
the first
enough. He can
time?
sit there. Yeah. Well,
Oh,
oh, no,
okay.
no, no. No, I did. I kicked him out on. Yeah, I kicked him out. I took him down. And he came
Okay,
back.
because this is his second time up.
Right. This
Yeah.
time I showed his face.
Oh, okay.
So, look at the weirdo, y'all. Look at the weirdo. People just can't help themselves. They have no life, and maybe they don't have something else. I won't put it out there, but some folks just can't help themselves.
That's
They
why I got
won't.
kicked out of my house.
They don't have attention at home, whatever. And you're definitely not cool daddy 2025. If you got kids, God bless them. God help them. Because you acting just like one of them. What an idiot. Anyway, um, hell, what were we talking about?
I
This
don't know, but
dude
it
is
sounded like you were
going.
describing me.
No, 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 no. You genuine comedy there. This dude here, he's grappling for attention.
Damn, grappling.
So,
Not even asking, grappling.
yeah.
He
Is there a
wrestling
way
for
that he
that
can?
thing.
I don't think he's in the chat though. How can he be up here if he was never in the chat? Well, I can see it could have been the case. But let me
No,
see
I
something.
think I think I think with StreamYard, you pop up,
Yeah.
you can see them.
Uh-huh. Let me see.
That oh no, they have to comment. If they don't comment, you won't know that they're there.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, I wish I knew this thing better because I sure would kick his ass up out of here. Lord, forgive me for cursing. But, oh well. We mods don't get rid of anyone unless Auntie says so. Well, if you see Cool Daddy 2025 Black, kick his narrow ass out of here. God's child, thank you so much. Heart is pure as well as my intentions. Amen. God bless you, sweetheart.
Homeboy
Yeah,
got a
so,
narrow ass.
I mean, narrow. Like credit card slit, you know.
Damn.
Okay, you just timed him out for 10 seconds. Boot his ass out for good, Black Lion. Let him go for good. He needs to take a walk on the wild side, but not this side. Hi, Tanita. That's not his screen name. He was Asan the first time. He was. Oh, okay. Well, if you happen to see Asan again, kick his Asan out of here. Asan out of here. Okay, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Man, it takes all kinds. Anyway, we were talking about the music industry, and it can be a touchy subject. Channy, we were just talking about the music industry. We talked a little bit about Angie. We were talking about Prince and Michael. We were just talking about music, period. You said what I miss. I walked out of the room for a second. I know where his music is, and he told me personally his wishes. Really, Trinity? Trinity, would you like to come up and share some of the information you have? Or share some of your stories?
I'll tell you, the big people in the musical industry, they live an insulated life.
They
It's
do.
it's it's sad, but there aren't too many places that they can go and just be themselves because people swamp all
Exactly.
over. They give them no
Exactly.
breathing room. Rough.
None. And it's, I mean, they're surrounded by
I
cloud chasers.
Yeah, big
sorry.
time.
That's it, Queen. Are you trying to
Can
say
y'all hear
something,
me?
sweetie? Yeah, we can hear you,
Yeah,
sweetie.
Yeah, I said, excuse me. I'm sorry. I had left for that period. I'm sorry to everyone.
Oh,
we're
that's
forgiven.
okay.
Cause
That's okay.
yeah, thank you. That's one thing that you can rest assured about me. And you can put everything on it and put the bank on top. I'm not a disrespectful person.
Uh huh.
What you don't understand, my mother always taught me, you ask.
That's
And
right.
that's what I do.
Uh
I
huh.
ask what I don't understand. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't understand, I try to explain it to you to the best of my ability.
Yes, ma'am.
Because there's no hardness in me towards anybody. Because I used to
Mm-hmm.
be a nurse assistant. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why that I hung in that field the way that I did is because I have love for everybody.
Uh huh.
It's a passion for me. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
what color you are. Color doesn't mean anything to me
Uh huh.
because my love and passion is for people. Period.
Right.
Point blank.
Amen.
I was in that field for 23 years. I worked first shift, second shift, third shift. I
Mm-hmm.
worked third shift the longest though, because that's the shift that everybody don't want to work.
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Amen.
So so I'm a night person when it comes to it at the end of the day. But I also I don't know, Auntie, if you can tell me something
Mm-hmm.
because
I'll
I have
try.
um a spiritual side
Uh-huh.
um that talks to me,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know if there's been a Virgo slash Leo. I I don't know, but what I will say this: what's already been explained up
Mm-hmm.
to this point about Angie,
Uh-huh.
I knew it
Mm. Mm-hmm.
before it hit the ground.
Mm. Spirit of discernment.
Now explain to me what that means, what you just said.
God gives us all, from what I believe and have been taught, that we've all been given a spirit of discernment, and if you're walking in uh, the will of God and you're leaning toward that discernment, that gives you the ability to figure out what time it is, if I can put it in that respect. Um,
hmm
you can you it's a way of reading a spiritual way of reading the room. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way I could put it with, because I'm not a biblical scholar or none of that. But
Okay.
I discernment is a means of, reading certain situations, especially reading people. You can read people and really kind of tell, despite how they're behaving or what they're saying, where they're coming from. You know.
And yeah,
Yes,
and
it's a level
and
of it's a
yeah,
level what do you call it? It's a certain degree of being able to, like what Auntie said. You're able to read people. You're
Uh
able
huh.
to interpret what you're faced with. People with discernment are able to interpret what they're faced with.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
I'm gonna
Yup.
put
Well,
this link in the chat for Trinity only. Okay.
well,
I'm.
well,
Go
thank
ahead.
you
Go ahead.
both.
Uh huh.
Thank you both for explaining that. Cause it's like, how do I know that? And I talked to my kids and my sister, and they like, wow, how did you know
Yeah.
that?
Mm-hmm. That's
I
that
said,
Well,
I don't
spiritual
okay.
know.
discernment.
So not everybody. Some people that have it don't even realize
Right.
that they can identify that. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, don't you know somebody who always tells you from the get-go, this person ain't about nothing good, without even having a conversation with them.
Right.
And it
You
turns
can
out that
read
they're
them.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Somehow,
yeah.
somehow they're able to spot it at something. Either their body language, something,
Mm-hmm.
body language, or something's telling them right off the rip, hey, this
Mm-hmm.
is not the person you should be
Right.
dealing with. Some
Right.
people have that. Some people, it's, yeah, that's discernment.
Wow. I mean, oh, and sometimes it scares me
Mm-hmm.
that I know that,
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
gift.
because
It's a gift.
The way some people have it, it's definitely a gift,
Mm-hmm.
because you might have discernment, but it might take you some time for you to figure out, hey, this person's about this, that, and the third. But there's
Mm-hmm.
some people, like I said, right off the rip, they're like, nah, I ain't messing with this person.
Right.
Right off the rip, and you're scratching your head, wondering, wait a minute, what happened? Did something happen? Nah,
Mm-hmm.
they were just able to read it like instantly.
Right.
and then by me being a people person, that is already is a gift within itself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Wow. Wow, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I mean, because I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it. I knew it all the way up until now about
Yeah.
Angie. I
Mm-hmm.
knew it. Everything what paperwork said and
Uh-huh.
Quiet Storm, I already knew before.
Right. I believe it. I
And that's
believe it.
crazy. Well, I wouldn't say crazy, but
Wow.
that's like wild. Like,
I
wow.
exactly.
Like,
I know exactly what you mean. I know
um,
exactly what you mean.
and I'm a good listener.
Mm-hmm.
I pay attention to every word that a person say and how they say it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And again, that's a gift. That's a gift that God has given us, and it's up to each and every one of us to really recognize that it is a God-given gift. But some gifts, or some people perceive gifts to be, or some people, let me get this straight. Some people perceive abilities, or what they perceive to be abilities, to be gifts from
Mm,
God. And, you
They're not
know,
all.
they're not all gifts from God. Satan is a
no,
deceiver. But, whatever, whatever God gives you is going to manifest as truth. That's the bottom line.
Yes, yes, and that's exactly what I get every time, Auntie. Is
Mhm.
gifts,
Yes. Yes.
like literally gifts. Like
Yep.
I mean, like one time I had to go get a piece of paper
Mhm.
from downtown, to take care of my business.
Mhm.
And I heard the lady as I was walking out counting, because you got to pay $1 for the paper.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I was walking out with my money in my hand from the change, and she said, "I don't have the $5 right now, but I really need that paper. Don't you know something stopped me?
Mhm.
Stopped me from walking, turned around like I was being guided, hand
Uh-huh.
her the $5. She said, thank you. I said, you're welcome. And that's when I walked out.
Mm.
Like I was guided.
Right.
And I don't know the lady. Didn't even know her or nothing.
But
Like,
your spirit told you that she needed that.
yeah,
Mhm.
apparently so.
Yeah. And ain't no telling what your actions did for her. I mean, that's how God works. He'll put people in your life that you have no idea who they are or where they come from, but he'll use that person to bless you, and he'll use you to bless someone else. And everything works to the good of those who love the Lord. I'm a
And
firm believer of that.
I have been, I have been blessed, very blessed.
Mhm.
Um, they caught my cancer, in my pancreas when it was
Mhm.
starting to grow,
Oh my
starting.
Whoa,
goodness. Ooh,
pancreatic is
And sh-
serious.
that's dead
and
serious. My sister died from pancreatic cancer. I know that to be true.
and sh- she told me that I was like a needle in a haystack to
Mm.
be
Mm.
able
Mm.
to
Yeah,
come in this office with that small amount of
Uh huh.
cancer in your pancreas.
Wow.
I broke down like a baby and
Mm.
cried.
Mm. Mm.
I didn't know whether to be happy or joyful because I didn't want
and
cancer. But then she said the small amount that was growing, we found it in the
Mhm.
nick of time.
Look
yes,
at that.
pancreatic. If it's not the worst, it's definitely up there with one of the
Definitely.
worst.
People
It's the
don't
And
want
guess
mortality
that.
what?
rate is ridiculous.
And
Mm.
guess what
Mm.
I was
Mm.
eating? See, I've been eating healthy anyway. I was
Mhm.
eating seafood,
Mhm.
the king crab leg, and then what's the one with the tail, the lobster tail? What's that tail?
Yeah,
A
lobster tail.
lobster tail. Lobster tail.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I said it right. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I learned that those are the foods that give you cancer.
Mm.
Before my brother passed, he told me to be careful about eating that food.
That's not the only
Mhm.
thing. If you're not careful, those are crustaceans, and if you're not careful with crustaceans, if you eat them raw, because a lot of people like to eat raw oysters, or raw clams and things like that. If they're not well cooked, you can get that bacteria that eats your flesh. You got to be
Mhm.
real careful with that.
Well, I call myself cooking it like for 45 minutes, almost to an hour,
Mhm.
to be safe.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I
Hmm.
mean, I was, and that scared me.
Mhm.
By me being a nurse assistant for so long, I didn't expect to see my name on the board with to
Mm.
call
Mm.
you
Mm.
back to get, chemo.
Uh huh.
I didn't have an inch of hair on me.
Wow.
Nowhere. My hair fell out. Of course that comes with the medicine.
Mhm.
But I am thankful and I knock on wood again. And it's been
Mhm.
2 years and I talk about them people to the highest mountain. I
Yeah.
thank them every time. I hug them. I start tearing up. I thank them
Mm-hmm.
because that was 4 doctors.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
amazing. That's amazing.
yes,
People usually don't get to tell the story when they get pancreatic
yeah,
cancer. They don't get to
yeah.
tell the story.
And that's what she said. She said
Mm-hmm.
normally, by the time they come into her office,
Uh-huh.
it's just too late. She said,
Wow.
"You are lucky. You are blessed. You are very
Definitely.
blessed." She said, "You are like a needle in a haystack." And
Yes.
guess what kicked it off for me to go to the hospital?
Hmm.
Kidney stones. She said, if it wasn't for my kidney stones, they would have never found
Mm.
it.
See there? See, oh my goodness. You are a walking blessing. You are definitely a
And
walking blessing.
that's why I do good by people. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't hang around negative energy. I don't
Mm-hmm.
I don't I don't I don't indulge in that.
Mm-hmm.
Um I respect everybody. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. Whether
I
if
hear you.
they racist or not. Oh, that's the
Yeah.
way you wants to be, then that's the
That's
way
on
you would be.
them.
But I'm not gonna be it. I'm
Yeah.
not because it's not in me to be that way.
Right. Hold
Yes.
on just a second, sweetheart. Sheena, uh, I put your message up. I put your message up on the chat. You guys, if you don't see it, it's Sheena said, Auntie, did you know Stone Paxton is doing a petition for Angie Stone? Yes, I am aware of that
Whoa.
petition. And I understand that Quiet Storm is also on board with that petition. So I'm not sure how we can access that, but let's see what we can do to find out where we can find that petition. Because I would encourage everyone to sign that petition to get on board and get to the bottom of all this. Yeah. So Faith,
Wow.
Faith, he's still conducting the original live he was on. I was supposed to be live with him, but I was having some struggle streaming, so I couldn't get on his platform for obvious reasons. This mic wasn't working right or whatever. So I started my chat, my live stream at the time I always do. I'm about consistency. So, oh, good. Thank you, Sheena. Thank you. Um, so that's why he's still doing his live. I wouldn't want him to stop what he's doing to come over here because he's doing some important work where he is, and
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go over there and listen to what he's got to say about Angie and stuff, I would encourage you to do so. I was just waiting for him to come over and pick up where he left off, but wherever
Hmm.
the information is at is where if you want the information, that's where you should be because it's very important to get that information.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you something too about that. They wanna just make like we just stupid. They just make like
Yeah.
we, like we doesn't see,
Right.
straight through the bull.
Right.
You know,
Plain and common sense should always be
exactly,
used.
Auntie. Yes,
Definitely.
that's
Plain and
that's
common sense.
see. But when you got them people, doesn't have millions. They doesn't
Right.
have billions. They have
Mm-hmm.
trillions of money,
Absolutely.
trillions. So they thinking that they can just pull the wool
Uh-huh.
over everybody's eyes, and
Uh-huh.
you're not supposed to say anything.
Right. Right. That's
Because if
true.
you remember, Prince, he had slave written on his face.
Yes, he did. And he was
That's
referring
why.
to the
Is that why?
industry.
Is that why he changed his name? Artist formerly known as Prince because he was divorcing himself from all that nonsense.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. and he had tattooed slave on there because being in that industry and you're up under the guise of the big producers and labels and stuff, you become a slave to
Those
them.
contracts, huh?
Yeah,
I mean, let's take a good look at Shaka Khan, Patti
Hmm.
LaBelle,
yep,
Gladys Knight, and uh who else? There's a fourth one. There's supposed to be
Just the
four
fourth.
of
There's
them.
probably more.
No, I'm
Dionne
saying
Warwick.
Thank you, Dionne Warwick. These ladies are about to go on tour if they haven't already started the tour, correct? I know
yeah,
they're supposed to be going on tour together. I don't see any reason why they should be out there, and no shade about their age, okay? Because they all
right,
still got Stephanie Mills. Thank you, Sheena. It's Stephanie
yeah,
Mills.
yeah,
Those four ladies are going on tour together. Why?
yeah.
Because they have to. They have to go. They have to continue working where your other artists of other persuasions are able to go into the sunset and retire and live the rest of their lives very well off. And that's a known fact. There's a
Well,
problem with this industry.
a big problem.
Very big problem.
A
And
very big problem. The music to me will never be the same
no it won't. No
because
it
they
won't.
has literally destroyed it.
Well, and they've
They has
destroyed the
destroyed
people.
it.
They've destroyed the
Yeah.
people that presented it. And then what do we have now? One thing I will give credit to these young folks. They said, "You know what? We gonna do our own record labels." We look what Master P did. Master P started making music and putting his music on mixtapes and selling them out the back of his car. Okay? Selling them out the back of his car. That's how he became big. And he's beholding to no one. To my knowledge, y'all know of him being contracted by a big record label?
No,
Anyone
that's
know
why they're
of
No.
using
one?
Spotify now. That's why
Right.
Spotify is being used. YouTube is being used for the
Right.
same purpose. They're not signing on with any
They're
labels
not
because they don't want to
signing.
get caught up with those crazy
That's
ass
right.
contracts.
That's right. So these young folks they've basically they've caught the wave of sense in that regard. The only problem is that a lot of them ain't got no talent.
Yeah, there you go, Auntie.
They don't have the talent to
There you
match
go.
what they supposed to be out here singing about. And they all like don't get me wrong, young people gonna like young people music. But let me tell you something about music back in the day. Back in the
Tell it.
day, back
Tell
in the
it.
day, you could be 5, you could be 10, you could be 65, 45. We was all listening to the same music back then. Am I right?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
There was
We were.
no, oh, well, I don't listen to that kind of music. That's y'all young folks stuff. No, I remember, listen, Al Green, Barry White,
The
Isaac
Whispers.
Hayes, The Whispers, Teddy Pendergrass, all up into the 80s and 90s.
Yep.
Okay?
Tell it,
We all
Auntie. Tell it.
listened to the same music. When mama and daddy threw a party, they would throw
You knew
Bingo.
all the music they were playing.
Man, they'd pull them drinks out and they'd pull out them cards and them dominoes, and then they'd call
Come
the
on,
little
Auntie.
kids. They called the little kids to come out and
And
dance
they
for
knew
the
the
people.
lyrics.
And
And
they
they
knew
knew the
the lyrics.
lyrics.
We could understand the lyrics. We didn't know no mama na mama na mama na mama na mama na mama. Hey, that ain't no lyrics.
Go, Auntie. You
What they
tell
But you
it
knew
like
the
mumbling
you
music.
see
about?
it.
You know the
But you knew
music
the
though.
music.
But now,
Absolutely.
not only that, whose music are who are they sampling for their music?
All that old
Old
music.
school
Oh,
songs. That's
oh,
where the
oh,
talent
songs.
was. That's right.
And
That's where the
exactly.
talent was. So
Yeah.
mama na mama na mama na mama don't mean nothing.
No, it sure don't.
Ain't no I mean,
You
ain't
know,
no words to make sense.
I think I was with my oldest son, and I had a conversation going. One of his friends was there, and he was shocked because I knew how to read sheet music. I'm looking at them like, what? I just
Uh-huh.
finished saying I know music. Why wouldn't I know sheet music? I don't get it.
Exactly.
None of these kids today know sheet
They
music.
don't. You know why? Because they stopped teaching it in school. And that leads back to what I was trying to bring up earlier, that Satan is busy so much so that he's attacking our children at an even younger age. My grandson, now I'm just
Get you
using this as
one,
an
cause you about
example.
ready to go to bed.
My grandson he just turned 11
Please.
this past weekend. He came home from school one day, and in his backpack, he had a game. And his mom went into the backpack and she says, "Baby, what is this?" And he says, "Oh, that's a game I checked out from the library." She said, "Well, what kind of game is this?" He said, "Mom, it's a Ouija board.
What?
It's a it's a Ouija board, and the object of the game is to collect as much uh, gold or something from the Baphomet." This boy said the word
Oh no,
Baphomet.
not the Baphomet.
He said the word Baphomet. We talking about at the time he was 10. What
Mm-mm-mm.
does a 10-year-old know about the Baphomet? So they're pushing this junk in our schools,
Yes.
and the parents are not given any opportunity to say no. I don't want my child exposed to that. They're
Right.
putting all
Yes.
kinds of crazy stuff, and that means they are attacking these babies now. They're
Yes.
attacking these babies.
Well, see, and you know why, don't you? You know why, don't you? Because
Because
all the old souls that they got, they
yep,
old. They need
they
some
old. They
new.
need new meat.
There you go, mama. There you go. They need new meat.
So therefore, he's going. When I speak on this, it's spiritually the young are being attacked to the point where
Yes.
we have
They're
no
being
say in
targeted.
the matter. They're being targeted. And the
Yep.
way that the government is set up now with certain groups and stuff, they're blocking the ability for parents to protect their children. Now,
Yep.
I will also use as an example discipline. There
Yep.
was a time where mama could whoop your behind and you didn't have to worry about a thing about being police being called. Now, I'm not an advocate of beating a child senseless.
No.
I'm not an
No.
advocate for that. But I am. The Bible says, "Spare the rod, spoil the child." It didn't say beat them upside
Yep.
the head with the rod. It didn't say that. But you do
Corporal
have to.
punishment is not bad.
Look. If they can kill you in prison, why can you not spank your child in
Thank
their
you.
youth?
Thank you.
Listen.
Because eventually, if you don't put the rod to your child while he's
That's where they're gonna
developing,
go.
the street will do it for you,
Thank
and the
you.
prison will do
Listen.
it for you too.
That's right.
Oh my
That's
God,
right.
y'all speaking some real. I love this type of talk. I love this
See,
talk.
it don't make no
Put
sense
anybody.
for a person to have to be afraid to discipline their child out of love to keep them from going down the wrong path so the police can roll up on them and pow them or beat them senseless. What gives them the
Yes.
right to put their hands on your child before you can put your hands on your child?
They
Well,
shouldn't have
I
that right.
remember. Well, I remember getting paddling in school.
In school.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it has
They.
evolved
I
to
got a.
this.
Listen. The only
Everybody that
time
I
that.
know, e- everybody that I know that got a paddling in school, they're still alive
Still alive. Still
and
alive.
free and
I
Yep.
free.
got. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
for yes. Thank you. Thank you,
Yep.
Mister Richard. Yes.
Yep. It's
Yes.
true.
I remember
It's
getting
true.
paddles in school, honey. And then when I got home, I got in trouble again.
Mm-hmm.
So that stopped me from showing my behind.
Okay.
If I don't
And
like being in trouble and I don't like
look,
whoopings, then you walk the straight line.
that's
And
right.
that's
And
what
you
I
know what?
do.
I remember back in the day when your mama would show up at the school and whoop you in front of the class.
in front
And
of the
you would
class.
Yep.
never do that again because you didn't want to be embarrassed.
And you better not lift your hands to
Yep.
block yourself either.
You better not. You better
You
not.
bet not.
There were ways to discipline your children. And I mean, spanking is not beating. But we've got
Mm.
this society has gotten it so twisted with regard to discipline, and this gentle parenting thing. I can't get with that mess. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
I
I
can't
put a
either.
video I put a video out a while back, and I was talking
Mm-hmm.
about a girlfriend of mine I had many years ago, and I babysat her little boy, and he was 5 years old with these pretty big blue eyes. And my
Oh,
son,
pretty,
my
pretty
my
thing.
first son, yeah, he was 5 years old and just the cutest little thing. And she was a single parent at the time, and I had had my son. My first son, he was 2, and big brown eyes, just as cute as he want to be. And we call him
Mm-hmm.
Junebug. He might be watching, as a matter of fact. Hey, Junebug. But anyway, uh, my friend asked me if I would babysit her son while she went out
Mm-hmm.
with her friends. And I said yes, but I'm letting you know now, if he get out of line, I'm gonna whoop his behind. Just letting you know, I'm giving you that little notice if you don't want me to spank him, because this little boy had a mouth on him, and
Oh, snap.
he would talk back to his mama all the time, and I always told her, you better check that now before he check you later. And she's,
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't believe in spanking. I think that we should really communicate with our child and really just, get them to understand
Yeah, okay.
how to behave. And let me fast forward. Let me fast forward. 30 years later. 30
Mm.
years. 30 years later. I get a phone call. Mickey, I need your help. I need your help. And I'm not going to say his name or her
Right.
name.
Right.
Blank is in jail right now.
Mm.
I said, why is Blank in jail? Blank is in jail because he pushed me down the stairs.
Oh,
And
Mm.
yeah,
oh,
he pushed me down the stairs because I wouldn't allow him to do you know what in my house.
oh,
Although
what?
she was also doing those things in her house, but she didn't want him
Okay,
bringing it in there. Okay, so there was so much going on between the two of them, but the bottom line is that you didn't chastise that boy when he was younger. Why
exactly.
do you think I told you, if you don't check him now, he going to check you later? If you
And
don't
that's
whoop
what
his
he
tail
did.
now, he going to whoop you later. And he beat the snot out of her.
That
That's
is
what he
horrible.
did.
He
That's
beat the
Let me tell
exactly
you
snot
what
out
he
of
something.
her.
did.
I'll tell you one. My ex-wife used to babysit, and there was this one lady, a church lady. She had 3 kids, 2 boys. The youngest was a girl. The boy, the middle boy. I'm going to tell you right now, and this is how crazy him is. This little boy was playing in school, and like all kids who play, they get a chance to fall and scrape their knee, and life goes on.
Right.
Well, the teacher wanted to make sure he was okay, and so
Mm-hmm.
he lied to the teacher and told the teacher, "No, my mother did this.
Uh.
Don't you know that the cops
Mm.
went, arrested her
Mm, mm,
on
mm.
what that kid said?" And that kid, I'm gonna tell you right now, that kid used to do stuff that uh, that coincides with the behavior that serial killers had when they were young too.
Mm-hmm.
That kid was
Wow.
wicked. But it's crazy how the system just took his word for it. They didn't
Wow.
investigate. Their investigation included
Wow.
Yeah.
He started
See,
up there.
I was brought up about
free.
time that I realized that my parents was getting a divorce.
Uh-huh.
I was about maybe like 10, 11.
Uh-huh.
So we all lived in the house together, by me being the baby. There
Uh-huh.
was rules.
Right.
Mama could look at us and make us sit down and shut up.
I'm telling you.
Just by looking,
That's
she'll
all
give
that's
us that.
necessary.
Yeah. So I raised my kids the same way.
Yep. And you know what?
And
You I'm not to interrupt, but you know what? That's what I admired about Angie Stone. That's
yeah.
one that's one of the main things I admired about her. She never got so high and mighty in the industry that she didn't conduct herself and her family in the way that she felt it should be. You know what I'm saying? And we all know the
Mm-hmm.
story. We all know the story about Angie picking
Yeah.
up that chair when that girl got out of line with her and busting her in her mouth and knocking out them teeth. Okay?
But you
Angie,
know
Busting
what
them,
though? But
huh?
you know
busting
what?
them.
But I'm just gonna be honest with you. Cause there is no need of being no shame and no liar. I
No.
can't stand for that. When I that girl that girl's teeth was
Busting
already
them.
messed up.
That's what she I was going to say that when she conducted the interview and she said,
Yeah.
"Yeah, but her teeth were already in a bad shape." But
Cause you can
the
tell it
point I'm trying
now.
to make, yes, the point I'm trying to make is that if you get out of line with me in my house, we come from a community, we come from a culture that mama said, I brought you into this world, I will take you out.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
Yeah.
don't disrespect me in my house, especially putting your hands on me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We wouldn't allow. I was scared of mama. I
Man.
was scared of my mama. I would have my sisters to ask my mama when I got grown when she watched my daughter because I had
Uh-huh.
got pregnant between the age of 19 and 20. So when I had
Yes.
my daughter, I was already 21. I was scared to ask mama after my 6 weeks would she
Yep.
watch my baby.
Yeah. But that's just how it was. That's how it was.
Hey,
But
sorry, y'all. I gotta go. Take care,
okay.
everybody.
All right, Solomon, take care.
Bye.
Thanks for coming up.
Thank you. Thank
Trinity,
you. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Trinity, I am so sorry. We got stuck on this subject. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's
Sweetheart, go
perfectly
ahead
all
and
right.
I want you to say what you came up here to say, sweetheart.
I don't know you were. I didn't know what you wanted me to talk about. I think what you're
Oh,
doing for Angie Stone is commendable, and it's a very sad situation all the way around
yeah.
for her kids, and just how it happened, and trying to figure out how it happened. And honestly, it does sound like there's a little bit of the elite in it because there's confusion around it, and when there's
Exactly.
confusion around something, you have to kind of look and see who it might not have actually been someone, the top executive of a music company, but it
Right.
might have been somebody in a lower place, like a
Much lower.
producer or something.
Yeah.
But they
Uh-huh.
had to get permission to do what they did. You can't just take their products because that's how they look at them, as products. That's why Prince wrote slave on his face. That wasn't a tattoo.
Right. Oh,
And
okay. I thought it was a tattoo at some I thought it was
no,
one of those
and
fake tattoos.
no, and if you notice, sometimes he would put the V above the A and the Y, and it would say slay because he knew what was coming to him.
Uh-huh.
He
Oh
knew what they were
boy.
going to do. But
Yeah.
he went on with it anyway because that's
Yeah.
just that little Gemini. That's just the
Yeah.
way he was. And
Yeah.
there are certain things that I just happen to know about him, and people either don't believe I worked with him or they don't care I worked with him, but it's true. And I did. And I went back to Paisley Park because he sent for me
Uh-huh.
and went to some parties. And I actually talked to the man, my one on one with other people around. I know some of the stuff that he was thinking, and that's not a lie. And then I know kind of what happened to him because when they did that to him, and Monday was the anniversary of his death day, which would be 9 years he's been dead.
Right. God, it doesn't seem like it's been that long.
No, it really, really doesn't. And I'm going to tell
Mm-mm.
people something that they may or may not know.
Can you
Him
turn your
being by
TV down behind you? Is that your TV behind you?
no, I don't have anything on.
Queen, is that your TV behind you?
No, no, I cut mine down a long time ago.
Oh, maybe
That's
my phone is just awful. Is I don't know what to do to make it better. I'm
I don't
okay.
hear anything.
Quiet. I put the link in the chat for you, sweetie.
okay. Well, I just want to say after they okay in the song "Let's Go Crazy," people think he's saying, "Are we going to let the elevator bring us down?" That's
Right.
not what he's saying. He's saying, "Are we going to let the elevator, the devil, bring us down?"
Uh huh.
Oh
Oh,
no, let's go
like the
crazy.
elevator, as in the
The
uplifting type, the
correct.
movement of going up. Yes.
And he wanted to know why is it when you press the up button it's white and why is it that you press the down button it's red. That was something he was very interested in because he paid attention to stuff like that.
Yeah. He was very
Yeah,
analytical.
He
yeah,
Very
knew
analytical.
everything that went on with his business. He knew the money he made. He knew all about what was going on with him because he went over everything. He knew the business part of the music business. He not only could play the instruments and perform and do all that, but he also knew about his money. He also helped other artists get their masters and maintain what they were doing with the music that they were putting out. So he was making a lot of people mad, like mostly Warner Brothers.
Uh huh.
Warner
yes.
Brothers, Warner Brothers was very mad when he did The Most Beautiful Girl in the World because that was the very first thing he'd ever done on his own under Paisley Park Records that had nothing to do with Warner Brothers. They got no money from it. So what they
Good.
did was they had these dudes somewhere in Rome sue him for copyright infringement of the music, not the lyrics.
What?
There's 7 different versions to The Most Beautiful Girl in the World. Like Prince has different versions of most of his songs.
Uh huh.
He wrote and performed and recorded When Doves Cry all by himself. All he had was an engineer. They went in the recording studio and 12 hours later he had the whole song When Doves Cry and he gave it to his band so they could learn to perform it. He did
Uh
that
huh.
all by himself. He was used to
Wow.
making music all by himself like that. At any rate, they hit him with that lawsuit. The plans he had for the promotion for The Most Beautiful Girl in the World included going on talk shows, going on maybe like tour with him. He wanted us to be seen and noticed and this whole thing around it. But then Warner Brothers came in, and so did this lawsuit come in the very same month. And that's when the very same year, that's when he started writing slave on his face because he was still not able to get away from them.
Uh huh.
And that's when
Wow.
I'm
they
a
did he re-recorded The Most Beautiful Girl in the World and did another video with Maite, who was nothing more than his employee. She was not the love of his life. He married her, yeah, but that was not the love of his life. I was there. I saw how he didn't even talk to her when she was in the room.
Uh. Uh.
He,
Uh.
oh
he
wow.
I was at one point I wanted to be like, can she at least come over here where we are sitting? He didn't look at her. He didn't talk to her. She sat over there looking like she lost her puppy or her best friend all by
Wow.
herself. So you can't tell me that's the love of your life.
No.
At any
Right.
Not at
rate,
all.
she had to
Not at
make
Can
all.
I?
appointments. She had to make appointments to see him. She couldn't just go see him.
Uh huh.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
You got to make appointments to see him. You don't just get to. And on stage, I'm going to tell you, when he had her cooch all out open for the world to see in their dance sequence, he would never do that to a woman he truly loved.
Right. Right.
Because
Right.
Prince was a Gemini and he was possessive and he was like, this is mine. So he would, I'm not saying he didn't like the woman. I'm not
Uh huh.
saying they weren't friends. I'm not saying they didn't have good times. I'm not saying any of that. I would never say that. I
Yeah.
can't say that because I don't know. But
Uh
I
huh.
just know what I saw and
Yeah.
I know what I've looked at and seen and all the other stuff. So for 9 years, I've done nothing but go behind the scenes and look at and try to see exactly what was going on. And anytime you're 5'3" and
Yep.
112 pounds, and you have enough fentanyl in your system to kill a baby whale, there's a problem.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
overkill. He got lidocaine in his system as well because they didn't want him to try to come out of that fentanyl and try to call and get some help. Prince was an epileptic, and they knew that. Most people didn't know that because he didn't want everybody to know it and feel sorry for him. But he was an epileptic since he was a little boy.
Wow.
It was one of the reasons they used lidocaine on him to control that epilepsy that the fentanyl might. He was allergic to codeine. So this business of Percocet and all that, you remember they had to stop saying that because he couldn't. He's allergic.
Wow.
Prince was homopathic. You couldn't even eat meat in Paisley Park. You had to eat the meat outside. He had that whole place redone, the water system redone to purify the water that came out of the faucets.
Wow.
This man took medication as prescribed so he could perform.
Right.
And if you noticed, the older he got, the less he was playing the guitar. Because of his hands. Because of his hands. It was easier for him to do the piano.
I noticed that.
And he was having members from Third Eye Girl take the lead in the Purple Rain guitar solo. She was nervous as hell when he told her to do that, but she didn't want to mess up because his band is an extension of him because he knows how to play all these instruments except the brass. If he's got horns there, he knows how he wants it to sound. Prince was an ear hustler. He didn't even know how to read music. He just memorized it all. Now, I don't know if he learned how to read music later on in life. He might have learned some chords, but Prince, in the beginning and in the middle, he didn't know how to read any music. That was all from his head, from his memory. And I just want to tell people that I'm very, very sorry about Angie Stone, but I feel equally, even more so passionately about what they did to Prince, who did it, and justice for him, because I think he deserves it. And everybody's just kind of overlooking it like it doesn't matter, like he was just, oh yeah, he just took an accidental overdose. No, you don't accidentally overdose, and you don't accidentally have all that fentanyl in your system.
Right.
And no one can ever tell one story where they ever seen him high. When he walked around Paisley Park, he looked just like he did on TV and in magazines. His hairdresser came every morning to do his hair. Prince was on point at every given moment.
Okay.
Most junkies don't do that. And I saw that for myself. I saw that myself.
He was definitely one of a kind.
Yeah, well, they thought they were funny putting him by the elevator because that was their way of saying the elevator did get you.
Wow.
And how could he walk from all the way in the back where his house was all the way up to the main building of Paisley Park with all that fentanyl in his system? He would have dropped and fallen between his house and Paisley Park. And why was he going to the elevator? Prince didn't like to be alone like that. So why would he send everybody home?
That's crazy.
I want to say something. I noticed in one of his songs, it's the album called Come. And the song is Pheromone. Pheromone. Am I saying that right?
Pheromone?
Yeah.
Yes. He tells a story in that song. Yes. Listen to it. He tells a story in that song that he went to the castle and the door was cracked and he was surprised at what he seen, and he saw her tied up, but the curiosity kept him looking because he said that he ain't never seen her naked before. Listen to it. He tells a story in that song.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He tells
That's
the story of
crazy.
how he felt like God and the devil were in him at the same time. And rave into the Love Sexy, the album Love Sexy. And he calls
Okay.
God Love Sexy, and he calls the devil Electra. And he says that they fought in him, and Love Sexy won. God won.
Uh-huh.
Because, yeah, he did some things that some of them people do in that industry to be what you are.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's really not a way around it.
Right.
There isn't. I mean, it just is kind of what it is. It's very, very sad. It's very, very
Yeah.
horrible, but that's what you do. Or you have to, for instance, Joss Stone, she was an incredible female singer, and she was with EMI. That was the first time I'd ever heard of EMI, is when Prince told me about it. But they had given her lots of millions of dollars so she could do this and that. She was even going to be Janis Joplin in the Janis Joplin movie. But when she saw what came along with that money and what was going to come along with all that, she gave them their money back.
Mm.
Now Joss Stone just performs in local little bars enough to get her by. She gave it
Uh-huh.
all up. She gave
Wow.
it up.
That's
There's a
amazing.
there's a reason one of the members from Crisscross offed himself.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Some folk can't take it. Well, ladies, I really appreciate you guys coming up. Storm is here.
Yes.
We gonna carry on and
All
move
right.
forward with justice for Angie Stone. I don't know what this is, and
It might
do
be
y'all hear
me.
this?
So I'm
Oh,
gonna
okay,
drop down,
okay.
and you will have a blessed night.
You
And
too,
Mickey,
sweetheart.
you are absolutely beautiful. You really are.
Thank you
Oh my
so
God.
much.
Okay. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Bye
I love you
bye.
guys.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.
I want to say thank you as well. And you are a nice looking woman for your age. And hi,
Thank you.
Mr. Storm. You doing a wonderful job, my brother. Keep it up.
Thank you.
And thanks
Yes,
Thank
for
you.
he
having
is.
me.
Appreciate you. I wore myself out.
I see. But you got your point across, didn't you?
I hope I did.
I'm sure you did.
I hope I did.
Because if you
Uh,
didn't, you wouldn't just now be coming in.
no, yes, I would. Yes, I would, because it's time to switch it up. Yeah, oh, yes, I
Okay.
would. So,
Okay.
so continue where I was. Uh, Lauren, the end up where I was is that, now the heat needs to be put on Shanna because
Uh-huh.
we need to find out why Shanna is so interested in doing what she's doing and what's in it for Shanna to be doing what she's doing.
Uh-huh.
Is she a hired agent or she's the agent of conquering?
Uh-huh.
Or is she the court curator?
Right.
She could be the curator and there'd be somebody else to get rid of the things there are to grab.
Uh-huh.
So, Lauren,
Yeah, you already know.
I just looked at the screen side of my eye and saw that.
Okay. She ain't playing either. She ain't
Okay.
playing. You are doing it for her. Yes, sir.
Okay. So we're trying to now is to turn up the heat on Shanna.
Uh-huh.
If she ain't a hit dog yet, she's about to be.
Okay. Er.
Because we got to know. We need to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
if she don't tell it, somebody's got to tell it.
Somebody gonna tell it.
And somebody's going to tell it.
Mm-hmm.
I got Angie Stone's phone number and I called it and the phone is turned off.
Mm.
I would have thought she would have answered it.
Mm-hmm.
And the phone number is definitely accurate because where I got it from
Was a reliable place. Yeah.
very, very reliable.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in the business.
Mm. Wow.
And I wasn't even looking for the number. They called me and gave it to me. Said, "Hey, you need to call."
Uh-huh.
I said, "Okay." I called. Yeah.
Sad.
So I'm wondering how Shannon has this authority to do what she's doing. If
Would that
my
have
mama,
any?
if my
Go ahead.
mama just passed away, she
Mm-hmm.
ain't gonna be doing nothing like this.
Mm-mm. But wasn't it said that she convinced Michael to sign a contract with her? What that contract it consisted of, I don't know.
You know, that's the first time I heard that.
I heard that a while back that she got Michael to sign a contract with her.
I don't. That's the hard one for me to swallow.
It's working. I mean, it's worth looking into at least.
Yeah, it is. And if she had him to sign one, I could pretty much believe it would be for sacred sound.
Mm-hmm.
So wait a minute. You know what? I might believe that because his rap CD
Yep.
must be under sacred sound.
Okay. So as her heir, anything that he has anything to do with, if he agrees to do something with sacred sound, would that inevitably, that contract, would that affiliation benefit as him being Angie's heir?
I'm not sure because Georgia and South Carolina, they got some laws when it comes. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say.
That's
Yeah, that's a
interesting.
hard pill to swallow. There, knowing that she has control of all that.
Mm-hmm. Ooh wee. Well, the rabbit hole deepens.
Yeah, yeah. And tomorrow we going down the hole.
Uh-huh. Yep.
We're
Yep,
gonna go
yep.
down the hole for sure.
Absolutely.
'Cause we can't let this lay down. This
Yeah.
this can't lay down.
Yeah.
And the one thing I said, Mickey, is I said that regardless of everything, we all have got to come together and do this together.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't do it together, then we're going to defeat ourselves.
Right.
So it don't matter to me whatever. And point blank, I only see one thing in front of me. That's Angie Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel the same way. I feel that there's forces that don't want the truth out there.
Mm-hmm.
And there are forces out there that are going to go above and beyond to do whatever they can to prevent that from coming out.
Yep.
How low those forces go or how high will be determined. But, from the looks of it, it starts from the bottom.
It does start from the bottom. And
However, it could be influenced from somewhere in the middle, I just, it again, there's still a lot of pieces missing from this puzzle.
there's a whole lot of pieces. There's a lot of pieces missing out of the royalty search. I said this on my platform. I said on yours. I think there need to be a financial forensic report done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there needs to be an entertainment lawyer involved at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Wholeheartedly, hands down, because they need to find out what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only way they're going to find out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, this business has been nefarious for decades.
Yeah.
And people have been able to devise new ways of getting their way. With technology the way it is, that helps them. And it doesn't help when those that want to get down to the bottom of it are bickering among themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want. That's what they want.
Yeah, obviously it's what they want.
You know.
They ain't getting it though.
No.
Not getting it.
There's too many people that want the truth.
Yeah, I love the truth. I love Stone, and I love everybody else. And I need you to understand, we all got a message, and we all need to hear.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yep, that's a fact. Now, I'm just. Big Mama says it, and these people will go all the way to unsolicited folks just to keep people quiet, and that's right.
Mm-hmm.
They'll go all the way to keep people quiet.
Yep.
It's not gonna work here.
Yep.
As they said, your money ain't welcome. Yeah.
Yeah. Or your influence.
Or the influence. No.
And we actually also have to stand in unison to stand up against fear.
Mm-hmm.
Because fear will inevitably, I believe, play a role in this. Rena Watkins said, please, Auntie, ask Quiet Storm about my question, please. Which question was that, Rena? Let me go up and see. Quiet Storm,
Okay.
Did we hear Michael got... Okay, let me put this up, okay? Is this the one that you're talking about, Rena? Didn't we hear Michael got hospital to identify his mom?
I think she means he got to the hospital to identify his mom.
Uh-huh.
It is said that Michael identified his mother, but I don't know if I believe that.
Again, I heard I heard on another platform, and I apologize if I can't recall which one. I heard that Blondie identified.
That's what I originally heard. Blondie
Okay.
identified her. But how did Blondie get there that fast? So
Yeah.
to me, it would make sense that it was Michael, Shanna, or somebody close. But I don't know how Blondie would have gotten there fast.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's, I mean, I don't know. Who else got a question?
Let's see. Let me get this one off the screen. Ooh wee, I am so struggle streaming right now. Oh, Lauren C said, yes, it was said Blondie identified her. So
Yes,
I'm not...
it was said, but
I'm
I
not
never
tripping.
confirmed it.
Okay.
Because I asked that question and they said no.
Yeah. For some reason, my thing ain't going up. I need a new computer. I know this one's new, but it's just not doing it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let me go up a little bit because I don't want to overstep anybody that may have put a question in the chat.
Bola says, I thought I heard Sheila identified the body to the EMT on the scene, and according to her, she did not.
Well, I was going to say the body would have to be there on the scene for her to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Keisha Robinson said, I always wonder... Oh, doggone it. This can't even touch this thing right without it jumping. QS, I think that you have seen this all evening. Okay, now it's gone. I'm sorry. Oh, Keisha Robinson said, I always wondered what happened to Joss Stone.
Who?
Joss Stone. Joss. I'm not sure who that is.
I'm not. I don't know who that is either.
Let's go down to the bottom again. This was further up the chat.
It says, how was it? Tony S says, how is it that Sheila was the only one knocked unconscious out of 9 people? I don't. Well, I don't buy it that she was, but that's what's said. So, I can't. I don't know. I wasn't there.
And the autopsy, the status of the autopsy, it has not yet been delivered, correct?
They're waiting on the toxicology report. As soon as that comes in, we'll get a copy.
Yeah, that's right. Dante said he was unconscious as well in that interview. He said he was unconscious.
Oh yeah, he did. He did. It says was. Big Mama says somebody need to get Angie's son away from this female sooner than later. She is the devil. Yeah, she is.
But with help. She said she is evil, but with help. That means she got help. She ain't. It ain't all by herself.
No, it ain't all by herself. I tell you what, it's just too much. She need to let it go. She need to let it go. Let it go. What's up?
Okay, Joss Stone did the soundtrack to the remake of the movie Alfie. I've never seen that movie. So
I've never seen it either.
Yeah. Carlos Johnson said they must have been passing out unconscious pills.
Who said that?
Carlos Johnson.
Carlos Johnson. Carlos, you crazy, man.
Man.
Yeah, boy, Carlos.
I tell you. Yeah.
That's how you pick the mood up, Carlos.
Thank you. We needed that. You missed out on our conversation while you were on your live. We had a conversation on this side going about the music industry and kids and back in the day versus today, and
it's much different than back in the day.
It's much different. Even with the music, we were saying that back then there was talent. Right now, we don't have the talent on
it depends on where you go.
Waves. For the most part. I mean, bubba da boo ain't gonna be no hit record.
Yeah, Stone was busting one out a hit today. I was like, yeah.
And see, I can get with that, but see, remember, and I'm gonna rehash what I had said earlier. Remember back when we were little, and especially let me put this one in there too. Them parents that didn't necessarily go to church every Sunday. Okay, them parents. We had some parents that were very holy and didn't listen to secular music or none of that. But I'm not talking about them parents. I'm talking about them parents that on Friday night, Saturday night, they bust out them cards. They bust out the dominoes, and the house would be full of people partying, and the music would be blaring, and they'd call the kids out from the back room to come and join them and entertain the adults with their dancing. And they was all listening to the same music. Didn't matter what age you were. If you was 5, you knew what Al Green was talking about. If you was 25, you knew what Barry White was talking about. Everybody listened to the same music. 65, 70, didn't matter how old you were. We were definitely kicking it together with the same music, and you could understand it.
Oh yeah, you could definitely understand it. Rena asked, did I interview the twins and Ashton? No, I haven't. The twins, Ashton and Anthony and Lethal, I have not interviewed. But I may get one with him tomorrow. I may. Don't know for sure yet, but I may.
Big Mama said to slow this chick down, she has to expose everywhere. No, wait. So wherever she goes, no one will trust her, and she will be known for the evil things she is doing. You know how you put missing posters up. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, she's operating kind of sloppily. She's
Yeah.
making it very obvious that she could care too, you know what's about Angie.
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely thinking of herself. But this thing it's more than one tier. You know, we're looking into the finances, and
Mm-hmm.
then we're looking into what inevitably took Angie's life. There are two separate situations that are intertwined together.
Right. That's absolutely correct. And that's since we know that they're intertwined together, we got to do what we can to pull up that information to bring that news to the forefront.
Right.
And this ought to be an interesting week to see what happens and go in. So it ought to be interesting. It ought to be real interesting.
Yeah, definitely the royalty situation will I would think would uncover motive.
It would uncover it. Yet now I am at the opinion of UMG must have paid the Mills what's his name? Walter. They must have paid him, and he spent all the money. I can't believe that nobody else did that but the people around her.
Look at the screen. Keisha Robinson. She's got a question.
What made Angie Stone think her money was stolen from her from the higher ups? Because she sat out
Out her own mouth.
said it out her own
UMG.
mouth. UMG. Why don't y'all feel this coming up from the bottom? Well, here's the reason for that. It's too sloppy, for one. It's super sloppy. Two, no style. And there would be some style by now. But that bothers me that it's not. And yeah, that person would have to know. I can't see it happening any other way. I can't see it. I can't see it. Big Mama said it was being stolen from ways if you think about it. Yeah. Yeah. This didn't just start. It's been going on for 20, 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
From the
'Cause
Sugar Hill days.
Yeah. Two things can be true at the same time.
Yep. 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 Mickey, my little guy over here, he's acting a fool. I gotta let him outside.
He wants your attention. And you know what? We've been live for 2 hours and 23 minutes. I think we've talked enough for a while. So tomorrow, I think we're gonna pick this up tomorrow.
Yes.
And
we got some
definitely.
exclusive. We got some exclusives tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes. Tomorrow's drop it hot Thursday.
Drop it hot Thursday.
Drop it hot Thursday.
Yeah.
Mac, I'll take one more question. Mac Fam says, "Is it possible that Stone is in it?" And that's what. I'm not going to say Stone was trying to silence anybody. You have to understand there's a level of compassion and a level of what word am I looking for, Auntie? Level of hurt
Pain.
dismayment
Yep.
with him. And so he's dealing with that, and he's dealing with the stuff that's hitting in the face, and he's still having to deal with the royalties. So that's what I chalk it all up to.
Yeah.
You know, people try to hit wedges between people,
Right.
and we need to not let that happen.
That's for sure.
But if I don't get this little guy outside, I might have an accident in my house.
Okay. Well, I will reiterate that tomorrow. What time you going on tomorrow? Let's
12
get that
o'clock Hawaii
established.
time.
12 o'clock Hawaii time, which is,
So
what is that
So
considered?
it's
to
5
be?
o'clock East Coast time.
5 East Coast? No, that's,
Maybe.
I think that's Central. Because look, you're 3 hours behind me.
Yeah.
I'm West Coast.
Okay.
So when you go on at 12, I'm at 3.
Okay.
Then we've got Central that is 2 hours ahead of me, which is 5 o'clock.
Okay. So the East
And
Coast is 6
Eastern
hours
would be
ahead of me.
6 o'clock.
Okay.
So
All right.
y'all got that? Because if I got to say it again, I'll probably mess it up.
So it'll be 6 o'clock p.m. when I come on at 12 noon.
Right, for Eastern
For
Eastern time.
Yes.
Yes. So Eastern time 6, Central time 5,
Okay, Black Line.
Western 3.
Yeah.
And then mine will be 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 2 hours after yours starts. So I try to stay consistent. There might be times that it gets so good on your side that I can't quite leave right away.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll do this again tomorrow, y'all. Thank you so much for coming to both
And
of our lives.
Yeah, that's correct. And don't forget, if you want to hear the recordings of what's been going on, you can definitely go to Quiet Storm FM YouTube page and see those interviews. And tomorrow, we're all going to talk about them together. Listen to it. Listen to everything. If you have to go back over it again, do that. Let everybody else know to go listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be surprised.
Right.
Be surprised.
Well,
you.
y'all, it has been real. Love you guys, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Hey Mickey, hey Mickey. Oh Mickey, you're so fine, you got my mind. Oh Mickey, you're so fine, you. Oh Mickey, you're so fine.
Hit the like button, it don't cost you nothing.